Well, speaking of, well, no, we're not speaking of noids. Well, I guess there's some noids in Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, which is, is Zelda not a noid? Really, when it comes down to it.
Zelda's a person.
Mm-hmm.
So
Zelda's a woman.
I guess, yeah.
And a princess, first of all. Let's put some respect on her.
First of all, Patrick.
First
she's
of all,
a princess.
Okay, so and second of all, she's saving the fucking world. Okay, she's holding it down in the past for the benefit of the future.
Holding it down in the past.
She's holding it down in the past. So let's give her some fucking credit.
Natalie can go on about Hyrule Warriors in a second, but she did send me one screenshot from the game. And I saw it, and I knew what it would be because I tried to get the same screenshot last night, and I was too slow. It is a screenshot of Minoru's feet. There, for some reason, is a gratuitous shot early on in the game of Minoru's feet.
First 30 to 45 minutes of the game, you're seeing feet for
like 10 seconds. It's
like a camera tracking shot. Are we panning
like
down?
she's walking.
No,
she walks
it's a cut to her feet,
and the camera just
get
yeah,
a couple steps. I actually have the a screen. I recorded my screen as well at that time, just to make sure I definitely did not miss getting the screenshot.
Have you played the old Hyrule Warriors games?
Yes.
Okay.
I did not play Age of Calamity. Was that what it was called?
Yes.
Or the Calamity? Yeah. I think I missed that one, but the original Hyrule Warriors that was on Wii U and then was re-released on like the definitive edition on Nintendo Switch is probably one of my most played games of all time. I haven't played any other Musou games unless you count Diablo 3 as a Musou game, which I like to because I think it's funny. But I just really, really love my Blorbos. Like, I love these characters so much, and it's fun playing with them in this context. And I find the Hyrule Warriors formula to be a lot more approachable for me. I tried Dynasty Warriors, the most recent one that came out, and just felt immediately so overwhelmed with mechanics that my brain felt like it was melting. So this is like the baby's Musou game that I think my brain can handle. Yeah.
I have never played one before. This is my first one, and it's so fun.
It's really, I find it interesting. This definitely feels like the most accessible of these that I've played, in that the systems are really simplified. Like, I remember even with the first Hyrule Warriors, there were so many menus where you could customize things. You're upgrading different weapons. You're collecting different weapons for each of the characters. There's tons of side quests to go on. There were just a lot of kind of somewhat arbitrary, just get the number to go all the way up, get all the stats in the stat tree. It wasn't as custom in terms of the builds as I've heard. Something like 3 Heroes, the Fire Emblem version of these, was a little bit more like build oriented. This one, Age of Imprisonment, seems a little bit more diluted in that in kind of the actual mechanics of the game, but there are really exciting. I think that the mechanics that they did decide to include, like the team up mechanics, which is when you're playing as a character, and you're close by another character who has their like team up meter high enough, you can team up together and you do like a group attack, which has some really cute animations between characters.
So cute.
There's this one between Rauru and Sonia.
Oh my god, I got that today. They're so cute.
I'm obsessed with them.
They're so cute.
Rauru is like attacking the enemies with his spear. He has like this light spear, and then at one point Sonia will do a stop in time effect, and then she kind of directs the spear to like attack, And then after that, she walks back up to him holding his spear and kind of like nudges him on the shoulder and like hands it back to him.
They're so married. They are so married.
But it's weird because you don't see stuff like that in Nintendo games, right? Like Nintendo games are so averse to, they're very like Marvel in that. Where it's like, it's always implied, like, of course in this world, in theory, people have sex, but it's mostly just implied through at most love or like light affection. And I played about an hour of this last night, mostly just did the tutorial to wrap my head around it. But even there, it's like, I know that Nintendo does this in collaboration with another developer. I wonder how much of the characterization is coming from another studio's approach to, I mean, a relationship that's not really depicted in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. It's more implied in the history of the world, but it's just hard for me to even imagine Nintendo left to their own devices showing, you know, characters going beyond a peck on the cheek. And like, again, it's not like this game is like sexually explicit, but it just, I don't know, it shows affection in like a very genuine, interesting way that feels very atypical for Nintendo games.
It's so cute. They're so married. Oh my goodness. I did a number of the like mission quests today where you set out and you go and you just like beat up a bunch of dudes, and they're just so fun. It's so fun. It's one of those experiences where I know that this game will be replayable for me.
What is the structure? So like, I think, you know, this game came out, a lot of people looking for games to play on their Switch 2. I maybe haven't tried one of these before. This is the first one that I've meaningfully tried. But like, you say like you went out on a quest. Like, is, you know, obviously Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are big open world games. My understanding is Musou games are a little more like level based, but like, I don't know, just like walk me through the two of you. Like, what is the structure of this game? Like, what are people, if they like Tears of the Kingdom but haven't tried a Musou, what exactly are they in for if they try to sit down and play it?
Yeah, Natalie, you'll be better at explaining it to me.
Yeah, so in this edition specifically, in Age of Imprisonment, you are essentially, for as far as I am right now, I only have 3 characters unlocked. I have Zelda, Minoru, and Rauru. The game opens with a few cutscenes, kind of introducing you to the setting and historical context where we are. So we're picking up as Zelda's waking up in the past, and then Rauru and Sonia find her and bring her into kind of their care, and she starts adapting to life at this point in time in Hyrule's history. But the actual gameplay, you have essentially a map of Hyrule, and across the map are little icons where you can, there are different types of missions that you can go on. So there are resource gathering missions where as you play the combat focused missions, you'll, you know, accumulate Endura carrots or, you know, flint, wood, stone, just random resources. And there will be narrative, like little story missions that you can donate those resources to. So like one of them might be the soldiers are feeling quite uninspired recently and very tired and sluggish. Like maybe if we could provide them with some extra food and those kinds of resources, they'll feel better. And then you complete it, and after there will be like another little, after eating the Endura carrots, the soldiers were feeling great. And there is something really cute about this, though. There's a specific character in the game called, her name's Lenalia. She's essentially assigned to be Zelda's handmaiden while she stays in Hyrule Castle.
I just met her in the cutscenes last night.
She's
like,
so cute.
Like, they just cut straight to, I don't know what the time jump is, like early in the game, but it's like, well, now they're besties. Like now they are like best friends, and actually, Zelda's not sure if she's gonna leave because her bestie's here.
Her bestie's here, and her bestie is like, "You look so good in that dress. You are slaying that and eating that down. You should just stay here. Don't go back."
Very strange dialogue for a Nintendo game. I was surprised that slipped through.
It's why it is. There is a little bit of a modernization in the way that people are talking to each other. It's very colloquial in an interesting way. But she all of the missions are written by her. So it's kind of narratively, these are notes that she's taken or like records that she's made of what's happening across Hyrule right now. And as you donate resources or do these missions, her records change to reflect that action happening. So those are one kind. And then other types are the combat missions. There are story ones, and then there are kind of side quests. And the side quests are mostly for resource gathering, or by completing one, you may gain a heart to Zelda's overall heart meter, or upgrade one of her attacks to have an additional combo button press. And then there are the story missions which have bigger cutscenes and story implications. But you get into a mission and it's like, here are 100 guys in front of you, and there are different keeps where there's like a boss inside a keep, and you're tasked with defeating that boss, sometimes within a time limit. Sometimes it's dependent on another character not dying before you defeat this boss, so there might be like a character that you have to protect. And then there's usually a final boss at the end of, capturing these different keeps over to your side, and then, finishing the level. So there's just a series of those in different areas and contexts. You can go into the depths, which is really cool. It's really neat to just be back in the Tears of the Kingdom Hyrule, but in a different context. Like, I feel like I'm kind of getting to look at it from a different angle, which is really fun.
Yeah. And one of the missions I did today, at the end, it was like, you KO'd 1,200 guys. Like 1,200. You are fighting so many enemies constantly. It's so awesome.
It's awesome. It's like, it's one, it is so satisfying, and two, it puts what I think is sort of abstracted in games, like in video games in general, and games, for example, in Tears of the Kingdom, just what the threat is of Ganondorf's forces. And I think, like, if I really look at it and take it seriously, the idea that Ganon has hundreds and thousands of pawns at his disposal that he's sending out, all of these captains, like, the threat is just so large. And I think there's a fun kind of narrative component there that recontextualizes just the fight itself. Like, what is the battle that's going on here? Of course, you can take out like 50 guys with one move, so it's a little, the abstraction goes both ways, but it is just neat to get to be in that that kind of fantasy setting.
The thing that's, obviously, if you boil down some of these Musou games, it's the attraction of what you're talking about, playing against hundreds or thousands of enemies at once, and how fun that is to sort of like sweep through these big areas and fight all these enemies with these big kind of AoE-ish sort of moves. And in the hour that I played, the thing that I found really neat, again, I haven't really played these games before, both the Zelda ones or just Musou games in general, but sort of the rock, paper, scissors of like, all right, like there's an aerial like super attack. Like, make sure you do your aerial super attack to sort of counter that and sort of deflect them. That is part of just like a broader question of, are these games difficult? Like, is like challenge or a skill arc any component of this game? It's not that I couldn't have died when I was playing the first hour, but it was difficult to imagine how I would have died. And that, again, that's the first hour. They're still tutorializing, but I wonder, like, as you get deeper into these games, is it mostly about the spectacle and how you manage the spectacle and build around the spectacle? Or is there increasingly like an actual threat that if you aren't optimizing or playing well, that you can't, like, the hordes can sort of like, can't take over? And
I'm curious too, because I'm playing on easy. So I, like, the moment I got in and it asks you to select your
easy mode
level setting, I just went into easy mode because I haven't played a game like this before, and it's been so easy that I'm like, I might need to switch to normal. Like, I'm losing like half a heart max during these fights.
Yeah, that's why so I'm playing on normal, and I'm just sort of, again, I'm having a good time. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I was trying to figure out what happens past this moment in the game, and does that ramp up, or is it purely just, hey, like, this is just really fun?
My concern with going to normal, and Natalie, maybe you can speak to this more because you have experience with these games, is that the screen is so fucking busy. Like, there is so much shit going on the screen that the times when I have lost any health, it's usually when I'm just like not realizing what's happening because my attack's going and visually there's just so much going on. Yeah, my concern with just increasing to normal is, I'm all of a sudden just going to start getting hit because I'm already kind of overwhelmed visually.
Yeah, I would say going to normal is pretty safe. I think the sort of the density of visuals is just an aspect of these games. I think things become a bit more readable as you get used to just being able to kind of at a glance identify, okay, swirling red, effect around boss enemy. It's time to, the time slows down a bit. It's time to enact one of the special attacks that is a counter to that red attack. I have heard that this game is easier than most of these. I will say that by the end of Hyrule Warriors, the original, the definitive edition, at least, there is quite a bit of like time management, I would say. You have to not only capture all these keeps or defeat all these bosses across the map, but you have to also do it within a specific time limit. So you have to be pretty efficient with your combos in order to be maximizing your how quickly you're getting through these enemies, or minimizing rather. That being said, so far I'm probably like an hour past you, Patrick. I've probably have like 2 hours in the game so far. It is a bit distressingly easy so far.
It's so easy.
I'm hoping that it gets a bit more complicated. The other aspect of playing these games is that you will replay levels at harder and harder difficulties as you get stronger. So usually you go back and if you're like interested in 100%ing the game, in the original Hyrule Warriors, there were like specific Skulltulas, which was the collectible. In this game, it appears to be Koroks are the kind of like collectible on the map. But there would be specific collectibles that you could only access after you had unlocked a particular ability or weapon per character. So that is also kind of one of the experiences of playing this game, is replaying levels at harder and harder difficulties to get like better and better stats or access areas that you weren't able to before. Yeah, I'm debating bumping it up to hard. I'm avoiding it for now because I still am getting tutorial screens that are like, hey, here's how weapon upgrading works, and here are, where the Zonai dispensers are. So I'm kind of waiting just to get through the tutorial gauntlet before I make that decision. But I would say you will be safe on normal for sure.
Can I ask? So on easy, I'm like 3 hours in, I think, at this point. It tells you when to switch to a different character, like when a boss is doing one of their big attacks. Does it also do that on normal?
I believe so, yeah. Because if like Zelda doesn't have her counter ready yet,
right,
it'll flash. Yeah, go to Rauru because Rauru has like a special attack
ready. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's different on hard mode. I think the camp system works differently on hard mode, if I recall correctly from one of the like text boxes that popped up. There's a camp system that you unlock where, as you move throughout a given level, some of the keeps that you capture may turn into camps, and that's where you can donate resources to get special effects like extra XP while I'm playing this level, or my special attack regenerates faster, or things like that. So I think that works and it also replenishes your hearts and rations, which is like your potions. I believe that works differently if you play in the hard mode, but I'm not sure exactly how.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying I feel like the biggest compliment that Hyrule Warriors has gotten throughout the years is that it does give space to a special kind of characterization and these sort of more intimate moments between characters than we get to have in mainline Zelda games. There's just so much more space to play and spend time with these auxiliary characters that we don't typically like. So often we're stuck in Link's POV, which, you know, I love Link, but I'm obsessed with Zelda
this has
and
been
her
awesome.
bestie Linalia.
Yeah,
Like,
this has
they're
been awesome.
so cute. And Minoru being like this, just like Zelda's obsession with learning and finding that that camaraderie with Minoru is really cute. And there's a character named Artie who I just got introduced to, who is who's Gerudo, and she's like a captain under Ganondorf who is questioning his kind of command, and that's compelling. So I'm just like happy to be spending time with these other characters that are
same.
so interesting.
Well, they just seem to loosen up in general with Zelda as a character when it's not a mainline Legend of Zelda game, right? Like, she has way more personality and echoes of wisdom. Which is a game that I liked more than I loved, but I really liked the concept of it, and I hope they make another one. But even that, like, there's explorations about like what does the expectations of being royalty and like just basic like characterization stuff that I feel like the series is always at best gestured at and really didn't. I mean, it makes sense that people latched onto her as a character starting with Breath of the Wild because she feels as full-formed as a person in Breath of the Wild rather than just a plot device, as she's, you know, usually has functioned in previous games. So it also doesn't shock me that in Age of Imprisonment, it's like, okay, it's not quite like Nobody's Looking, but it's like, it's not a main Zelda game. Like, we can explore different ways of portraying these characters and let them have more personality. And I don't know. Hopefully at some point the mainline games take note, because I think they'd be better for it if they had some more of this characterization that these side games end up having.
Agreed.